Right, 20 October 2024, and today I've got quite a number of items to cover. And normally when you see me late to start, it's because I've got so many things to go through, and it's probably taking me some time to do so. So I'm very happy with all the support that you're giving us, and I hope that we'll be able to provide information more than with just me. So we need to get more people involved, and I'm making arrangements to do so. One of the things that we're doing is we obviously have to construct the Gambakwe head office, and I would like those who want to work with me on the construction of the Gambakwe head office to come and have a chat with me on WhatsApp, so that you can become part of it. You can become part of the owners of the Gambakwe building that we're going to be constructing. So please, if you're interested, all we need right now is about $200,000 to get started. But before I go into the business, let's talk about what is happening in the news. And I want to start with a very sad story. And that is prominent Zimbabwe businessman, former presidential candidate, owner of multiple businesses in Zimbabwe, including Shabane and Mashaba Mine, and an activist in the Zimbabwean political space, Mutumwa Mawere, has reportedly been in hospital for some time, and he was unable to speak for a very, very long time. That is why you were not able to see Mutumwa Mawere anywhere in the public space. And Mutumwa Mawere has been a feature, or a permanent feature, of the political space in Zimbabwe since around, let's say, 2003, when he attempted to contest in the election and was prevented by the courts in Zimbabwe. And then eventually, when he became a multi-million dollar businessman in Zimbabwe, included in the formation of some of the biggest companies in Zimbabwe, like Telesor Zimbabwe, Africa Resources Limited, and I understand that some insurance companies get a part in their formation. Many people don't know Mutumwa Mawere, how he became so prominent. So Mutumwa Mawere used to work for the World Bank, and one day Mugabe, Robert Mugabe, and Grace Mugabe traveled to New York, and they met a group of bankers, of Zimbabwean bankers, who worked at the World Bank, and convinced them to come back home. This included people like Mutumwa Mawere, Simba Makoni, and people like Nkosana Moyo, who met with Mugabe at the time. There were also people like Anamshore, who went on to form NMB Bank. They were called back by Mugabe. Mugabe was a visionary in terms of banking. He wanted banking to move into black hands. And that is how Mutumwa Mawere ended up coming back home from the New York, where he was working at the World Bank. And Mutumwa Mawere was very proud of the position that Mugabe had given him, which was to revive or to bring into life Zimbabwean banking. However, NMB was snatched from both Mutumwa Mawere and Nyemba by people like Mshore and the current directors at the NMB Bank, who were much smarter and who were much more ruthless. And they took away the bank, and eventually Mutumwa Mawere was left in the cold. When NMB was formed from a number of failed banks, that resulted in Mutumwa Mawere, who was supposed to be the CEO and founder of the bank, being pushed out. And he told me this story one day when I was sitting in his office, and I'm actually forgetting to show you a picture of myself with Mutumwa Mawere. This is me and Mutumwa Mawere at Santon Convention Center here, when Gambakwe was at its peak. And at this point, you can see that I was looking fresh and young. My beard was not white. This is a day when I had met the guys from Sudan, South Sudan. We were supposed to travel to South Sudan to set up a business over there, but that never went through because of interference from Zimbabwe State Security, who interfered with the business deal with South Sudan. But that's besides the point. That was me and not involving Mutumwa Mawere. But Mutumwa Mawere at that time came to see me with the Colonel Daniel Shumba. You can see Colonel. Is he Colonel or General? I don't know. But they came to see me at Santon Convention Center. And I've had a good relationship with these guys. And unfortunately, their passion was not the same as mine. They have got a deep passion for going after big fish, like particularly Mutumwa Mawere was so passionate about going after Strive Masiwa, whereas Daniel Shumba was more interested in recovering his money from Strive Masiwa. What Daniel Shumba told me is that he is the one who gave Strive Masiwa money to start his business. He's the one who gave him a place to stay. He's the one who basically brought Econet into life. So I had a lot of time with these guys and they told me so much. And Daniel Shumba felt that Strive Masiwa had taken away the shares that he was supposed to give him. And he was very bitter about that. All along, Daniel Shumba has been very bitter about the shares that Strive Masiwa took from him. I don't know how that happened, but there are some shares of Econet that were taken from Daniel Shumba by Strive Masiwa. So this is what brought these men together, Daniel Shumba and Mawere. Mawere has gone on to lose massive value in Shabane and Mashaba mine. He has lost massive value even in South Africa. He has also lost his house recently, and he faced court cases accused of various crimes to do with embezzling lotto money from the lotto of South Africa. But I don't think these are all true stories. It's unfortunate that Mutumwa Mawere involved himself in ANC politics. But this man has been, according to my sources, hospitalized, 75% unable to speak. He's only just now been able to open his eyes and start talking recently. And we don't know how the situation is going to develop. But I'm giving you what I know. This is what I've been given about Mutumwa Mawere, a prominent businessman. I remember when I was at NAST and I traveled to Harare. I went to his offices in the CBD of Harare. If you see where there is, I think, Mikos, right there, where there was a nice Mikos building, and there was a shop there where people used to shop. And opposite it, there was an Nando's and so forth. He had a nice office there. A friend of mine was on attachment. I used to go over there. And his office is amazing. Unfortunately, Harare is not suitable for business. Harare is not suitable for business. There needs to be a new order in Harare. There are few people that are making money in Harare are not able to grow it. And these people that have been taken out of our country to different countries, those are the people that would have grown that country. Currently, the people that are left in Zimbabwe are dealers and vendors. You don't have business people who can envisage a conglomerate. That is the problem that we have in Zimbabwe. And Mutumwa Mawere was one of those people that could create a company of a level that can match any other company in the world. So these are the kind of people that I'm talking about. People that worked at the World Bank, people that knew New York, people that understand how finance worked. So that is Mutumwa Mawere, even Anna Daniel Shumba, and Strive Masiwa. They've got no place in Zimbabwe because the country is being run by a cabal and masters of Ponzi schemes. Those are the people that are running the country. They do not have space for proper business people in Zimbabwe. Right, so I think I've covered that. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try and go and see Mutumwa Mawere in hospital when I get a chance, or someone is going to go there and see them and let me know what is happening. Now, let's look at what is happening. This is the story of the week. The ZANU-PF annual National People's Conference is going to be taking place in Bulawayo from the 22nd to the 27th. Do not lose focus of this thing. This is the most important event ever. By the end of this conference on the 27th, Zimbabwe will be a totally different country. And do not look inside. Have a bigger picture look. We are in the middle of a big change in our country. And as I said yesterday, this is the beginning of a massive change. Chiwenga is now the man to watch. What Chiwenga does next, or what happens next to Chiwenga, is the most important thing that you have to watch. I now want to quickly go to another story here. Bushiri, Shepherd Bushiri. So Shepherd Bushiri has been removed from the court case in South Africa. That is to do with fraud, money laundering, and racketeering involving 73 million rands. This is because Bushiri is currently hiding in Malawi, and the South African authorities have agreed to proceed without Bushiri. So his 7 co-accused are going to be charged, minus his wife Mary. They're going to be charged, and this court case is going to take about a month. If it does not finish, it's going to continue at the end of 2025. So Shepherd Bushiri was taking money from people. 350 people have made complaints, and he would say that he was going to invest the money into something that will be multiplied by 2 every month. Unfortunately, and unknown to those people, what Bushiri was simply doing is he would take the 773 million. When you deposit money, minimum of 100,000, you just withdraw and give the older people the new money. So it is a Ponzi scheme that Bushiri was running. And that is why the South Africans want Bushiri to come back to South Africa. But at the moment, they are going to remove him from the court case and charge those people that are currently in South Africa. Then finally, I want to go to Kariba. Kariba is a town very close to my heart. So I love Kariba. Kariba is, in fact, to me, much more interesting than Zambia. The reason why I say Kariba is more interesting than Zambia is because in Kariba, there's actually something to see. So there's the Kariba Dam, whereas in Victoria Falls, all you have to see there is the falls. So in terms of what is happening in Kariba Dam, so let me put a picture here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Kariba Dam, I go there a lot, and we are in the middle right now of thinking of what kind of business to do on the Zambia side of Kariba. So remember, Kariba is a town in Zimbabwe, but there's also Kariba in Zambia. So I'm thinking of what we can do in Zambia on the Kariba side, whereas things are happening on the Zimbabwe side. What happened is when I was in Zambia a few months ago, I met a nice old man over there, and I talked to his daughter, and we obviously, she is in the business of some other business which we want to go into together, Namaka. So let's see if she agrees to work with me. I've been trying to ask her to work with me for a long time, but she didn't do it. So this is Kariba. I get distracted very easily. I think it's the weave. So I'm showing you Kariba Dam here, the biggest dam in the whole world, I think, or in Africa. This is the biggest man-made dam, and it has recently been undergoing renovations. So Kariba has come up with a master plan. So Kariba, the town, has come up with a master plan. And under this master plan, which is very exciting and which is long, I urge you to go and read the master plan of Kariba. Kariba has come out with various proposals. And some of them are shocking proposals. So let me take you through the biggest proposals that have been made in Kariba. So a new town center is going to be built in Kariba. So there's going to be a new city in Kariba. That is a large number of opportunities available if you're into construction and if you are in the diaspora. So we're going to be talking about these opportunities. Then there is a need to demolish Mahombe Kombe and clear it. So there's a suburb called Mahombe Kombe. They are going to demolish and clear it and build hotels, lodges, boating and fishing clubs. land should be set aside for relocation over the coming years. This is a massive opportunity. If the guys at Kariba do this and they manage to clear that area and create a tourism section there in the beach, they will do very, very well. And I hope that they can do it. The council there in Kariba, I know the guys are very good guys. And then the district hospital at Heights is inadequate and not enough for the population of Kariba. A new hospital should be built in and around Nyamunga, where the majority of the population live. There's not enough schools, and then the lake is a victim of overfishing. They've got a lot of plans, and currently they've got, I think, 27 low density stands for sale. They've got a lot of opportunities. So if you want to invest in Kariba, get in touch with the council. But I think the biggest opportunity lies within what they want to do in Mahombe Kombe. They need to get a planned city over there, which means you get a big investor with a huge amount of money. They develop a planned city with no one in it. And one day you just open that city. And I hope that they've got the vision to do it. And I know that Mnangagwa has forced every council to produce a master plan. I've been going through the master plans of all these cities. However, the Kariba master plan is probably the best master plan that I've seen so far. Very detailed, and it is going to create a lot of value if they do it. So I think because Kariba is such a big and important tourism town, the government must prioritize it and put the first planned city here. If you remove Mahombe Kombe all the way up to that hotel, the Caribbean Bay, and you clear all that area, you create a city over there on the edge of the Kariba, of the Zambezi River. And then you connect with what's happening at Tamarind over there. You have one of the most popular and beautiful cities that can attract tourists to Zimbabwe. There's an airport in Kariba. There is boating. You can actually go on a boat and go all the way to Vic Falls. That would be amazing. And in fact, go up to Binga, where there's also an opportunity to put a planned military city over there. My preference is for the military guys, 2 houses for each soldier, which means you put a planned city for the military, totally closed out from everyone else, where the military guys will live and their families and they have schools and services, and each soldier gets a house over there, and also make sure that they get a house somewhere else so that when they finish saving, they get out of the military city and they go to their own house in the cities. So amazing opportunities, but Mnangagwa will never do it. Mnangagwa's plans are too small. Mnangagwa's vision is too small. The only thing Mnangagwa thinks about is to fix the things that Mugabe did. He will never think about doing something new. That is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa arikuuraya vanhu nenzara. Right, I think we've covered everything. So let's recap and let's look at the comments before I recap. Mukoma which Moses, infrastructural, yes, amazing. If young people were in charge of Zimbabwe, that country would be jewel. Mukoma Parizai, thank you very much. And then Mukoma George, you contributed to that master plan. Yes, amazing work. Good job that you've done there. And I love Kariba. Let's fix that place. Let's make it a jewel and connect it to Victoria Falls. It'll be amazing. And Mukoma Tafazo, Gambakwe is the only platform I can trust. Yes. But Mukoma, what I want to tell you is that almost every platform in Zimbabwe, you can trace it to Gambakwe. We've brought these young people up from when they were young. And I've been grooming a lot of youngsters that are currently in media. Then Mukoma, where I said, Gambakwe, it seems like news Zako, Zakunaka. Zinonaka. News Gambakwe, Zinonaka. We want to make this bigger. I'm going to go to America, United States of America. And as I said, we want to build the Gambakwe head office. We already have the land. We just need people who can work with me to build the Gambakwe head office. We're going to do it, and we're going to do it very, very soon. Right, I think we've covered everything. In Mozambique, we still have a situation. Venanzio Mondlane has called for a street march tomorrow. So we're going to be watching that. There is a lot of shooting taking place, people being shot, and let's see what happens. Then in terms of General Chiwenga, don't worry about General Chiwenga right now. General Chiwenga is going to lie low until Tuesday. what happens on Tuesday is very, very important. You're going to to do very, very well if you follow what happens on Tuesday. Mukoma Tafa, you're saying I must read your comments. Let's see what you said here. Mukoma Tafa, I'm looking everywhere and I can't see your comment. Unfortunately, I've got many platforms, so I don't know where you are typing from. And I can't see that comment. You have to retype now. I think somehow you have been blocked from another platform. So it's possible. Just type again so that I can see what you want to say. I'm not ignoring your comment. I'm actually seeing you here. So say what you have to say before we go. I'm giving you a second so that I can read it. Right. So I think, guys, this is clear. Mutumwa Mawere has been taken ill and he is unable to speak according to my sources. And this has been the case for a while. Popular banker, former candidate, presidential candidate, and a founder of many, many businesses that has been popular in Zimbabwe. I would like to thank you all for watching. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. as usual, as I give you the trending news. Let's look at the community adverts. I want to talk to the guys in Bulawayo here. This advert is very, very important. There is a grant by USAID for Bulawayo. If you want to do a business in Matabeleland North, this advert, I'm going to put it on Gambakwe. You can write to these guys. They're going to give you funding if your business is more than 3 years old. So that is for guys in Matabeleland North. Watch this advert. I'm going to put it on gambakwe.com tonight. Right. I would like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you in the morning, as I said, and a good night to you all.